Take a look at this remodeling website. It looks good, right? Professional photos, pricing, a form. It's been agency managed for just over 2 years now, and it costs them hundreds of dollars a month in fees. But watch what happens when I run through this free tool. It renders your site the way Google's crawler sees it, not the way a human browser does. What came back? Close to a blank page. And so I spent the last few months running that same test across 5,230 remodeling websites. And this gap between what the owner thinks they have and what Google can actually read showed up on 99.8% of them. In every single case, it's costing them a lot of money. And it all comes down to just 3 issues. I worked with a very well-known remodeling company, and when I got under the hood of their marketing spend, there it was. A recurring monthly charge for hosting and management, hundreds of dollars a month for years. When I asked what that fee was actually buying them, the answer was not much. The site hadn't been meaningfully updated in over a year. So we cut that line item, took the money we freed up and put it into things that actually generated jobs. They got a lot more results. Their monthly marketing spend dropped by more than half. Since then, AI has made the technical maintenance of a basic website pretty much free. Hosting costs pennies. Platforms handle their own security. The work that used to justify a monthly retainer takes about 20 minutes a year, if that. The fee didn't go away because the agency didn't tell you it was no longer necessary. I mean, why would they? So, go find your last invoice from whoever manages your site. Look at that line that says hosting, management, or maintenance. If you're paying more than about 15 to 20 bucks a month for hosting alone, you're overpaying for something that AI made obsolete. That's cost number 1, and it's the one you can stop today. If your site was live, Google could find it. You'd build the pages, Google would crawl them, and over time your business would show up in search. But something shifted when AI website builders took off. Tools like Lovable and a handful of others like it build sites that look genuinely impressive. Clean design, fast load times. Looks like something a real agency would charge tens of thousands of dollars for. I want to show you what happens when you run one of these sites through a site called totheweb.com. The tool renders the page the same way Google's crawlers would see it, not the way a human browser does. What comes back is close to nothing. A few words, maybe a heading. The rest of the content that a human sees, it's built in what's called JavaScript. That's Google crawlers can't actually read. The site exists, Google just can't see it. Every dollar spent on that site, the build, the monthly fee, any ads going to it, is landing on a page that search doesn't actually know is there. Google's own engineers have confirmed this publicly. JavaScript-heavy sites can take weeks or months to get indexed. And in some cases, sections of the site never get indexed at all. So we're gonna go back to totheweb.com, and we're gonna drop this URL in. What comes back is what Google sees. If it looks thin, if the content you know is on your site isn't showing up in that render, you have an invisibility problem. And no amount of ad spend or management is gonna fix that until it's rebuilt on a crawlable foundation. That's cost number 2. Even when a site is crawlable and ranking, there's a third way it fails. And this one is the hardest to see because it doesn't show up as a bill or a missing search result. It shows up as silence. Someone lands on your site, looks around, and then leaves. You never know they were there. You never know what they needed. You never got the call. One of the first clients I worked with had a site that was technically fine. It was actually ranking. It loaded fast. It had a contact form. In the first 60 days after we rebuilt that site and how it handled leads, form, the homepage, the phone setup, before we worked on it, they were getting nothing. After we worked on it, they got 22 qualified leads and closed 6 of them. The site hadn't changed visually. What changed was 5 specific things underneath the surface. And here's what they were. First, the contact form was collecting names and email addresses. That's it. So when someone filled it out, the first call was a cold guess. No idea what kind of job they wanted. No idea what their timeline was. No idea if they were a real buyer or someone pricing out a $200 repair. So we added 4 questions. Job type, timeline, rough scope. How they found the company. First contact went from a cold open to a real conversation. The homepage was trying to sell everything at once. Kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, additions, decks, ADUs, basements, all above the fold, or at the top. All competing for attention. In the current search environment, that's a problem. Google rewards specificity. A page that's clearly about one thing ranks better than a page that's about everything. Pick your thing and lead with it. The name, address, and phone number on the site also didn't match what was on the Google business profile. Different phone number format, slightly different business name. That inconsistency is a trust signal to Google, and not a good one. It creates friction in local rankings that's completely avoidable. Again, there was no working call button on mobile. On a desktop site, a phone number is just text. On a phone, it should be a tap to call button. On the sites I reviewed, a significant portion either had no call button at all or had one that was broken, and almost none of them had any tracking on it. So even when calls came in, there was no way to know which page or what type of marketing actually brought them in. They thought it was Google. It kind of was. The content on the site that I was looking at read like it was written for a search engine, not a person. Paragraphs stuffed with city names and service keywords that don't actually help someone decide whether to trust you with $40,000 of kitchen renovation spend. Real buyers read that and leave. So they go find someone whose site sounds like a human. So those are the 5 things. Each of those 5 things is a leak. A real buyer hits one of them and the momentum breaks. You never know what happened. So open your site right now and check 5 things. Does your contact form ask for job type and timeline? Does your homepage lead with one specific service? Does your NAP, name, address, phone, match your Google business profile exactly? Does your mobile site have a working tap to call button with tracking on it? Does your content actually help someone decide to hire you, or is it just a bunch of keywords? If any of those are broken, fix them now. Each one is a lead you're currently losing without knowing it. So what about the 0.2% of the sites that actually generate leads have in common? What do they actually have? It's not a bigger budget or a fancier design. It's ownership. The business owns the site outright. Not the agency, not the platform. It's built on infrastructure that Google can read. The conversion basics are in place. And there's no monthly fee for a service that stopped being necessary 2 freaking years ago. That's the gap. But now you need to know how to actually build that site. So luckily for you, I made a whole video on this, and you can click here to see it. A site that generates leads for free is the baseline. It's not a luxury. It's what a website is supposed to do. The reason most remodeling sites don't do it isn't because it's complicated, it's because the people who built them had no reason to make them work. They get paid whether leads come in or not. So if you're ready to fix that, click here.